the Buddha himself was only interested in one question, and what is the cause of human suffering, and what is the way out of it. That's the essence of Buddhism, basically. And so I'm not going to steal the thunder from Bob, who's the expert in this area, but I'd like to start off with just that one question from a Vedantic perspective.
Please.
And then perhaps what we can do is draw the parallels between Vedanta and Buddhism, if that's all right. Because essentially, it's a question of semantics, I think. So Vedanta, which is the great wisdom tradition of India that goes back at least 1500 BC, and the authors of the Vedanta are the great rishis who span several eras of time, especially the ones who wrote the Upanishads. If I could summarize what Vedanta says about the subject, and in fact, if I could summarize the whole of Vedanta in the next 10 minutes, it would be as follows. Vedanta says that there are 5 reasons why human beings suffer. And these 5 are called Kleshas in Sanskrit, Kleshas. The first Klesha, or the first cause of human suffering, is not knowing the true nature of reality. Number 1, not knowing the true nature of reality. The second Klesha, number 2, is clinging to, or grasping, or holding on to that which is ephemeral, transitory, illusory, insubstantial, and therefore not real. Second cause of suffering. The third cause of suffering, the third klesha, is aversion to, revulsion to, fear from, or fear of that which is insubstantial, transitory, ephemeral, not real, illusory. The fourth cause of suffering is identification with a false and constricted and habitual self, which we call the ego. And the fifth cause of suffering, the fifth klesha, is the fear of death. And Vedanta says, that's it. These are the 5 reasons why humans suffer. Not knowing the true nature of reality, grasping to things that aren't real, running away from and fearing things that are not real, identification with a false self, a constricted self, and the fear of death. Period. All other causes of suffering can be somehow connected to these 5. And then Vedanta goes on to say that these 5 are contained in the first one. The 5 kleshas are contained in the first one. So the only cause of suffering is not knowing the true nature of reality. The only cause of suffering is not knowing the true nature of reality. Vedanta says the true nature of reality is Brahman.